Go. Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Yes, indeed. Happy Wednesday, December 4th. And just a quick shout out. I won't be in the show tomorrow morning because I'll be traveling. My family and I were going to go to Chicago, Illinois. Let's see. So it'll just be Matt, a solo tomorrow morning.
All right. Well, with that said, well, we're a little bit early here, so I don't know if we should kick it off, but maybe we could just talk about Bitcoin really quick, just to see if there's any change of Bitcoin. And I wanted to just show the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin that it's still on top of the cloud. So I think what's happening with Bitcoin is it's just buying enough time until it's ready to go higher. So this is looking fine, right? It back tested the 91 perfectly, came back to the cloud, even back tested the cloud, wicked way below it, scared some people like it's going to go back down again, but no, it's back on top of the 4-hour cloud. So I think this is something that has potential to hold and maybe just see if it can build a base on top and go higher. So right now it's a little bit below, but there's still 2 hours left into the 4-hour candle. So just going to see if that can hold going forward.
My big screen as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the tracker vision. This is the tracker vision version of the same thing Matt just showed you. But, I draw these lovely little triangles here, my tracker triangles. And so it's basically like an Elliott wave triangle where price wants to go. It was in an uptrend, and then suddenly it does something different. It wants to continue this uptrend, but the triangle delays it. So we get 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth move takes it out. And if you notice, it kind of looks like a bullish W, right? So like on a small scale, sometimes this is what happens when you see one of these Ws and it kind of back tests a little bit, then takes off. So basically that's what I'm looking for right here is we got touch establishes the trend, and then that last touch that scared everyone out forms the support trend. So now price is just going to get forced into the end of this triangle until it picks a direction. But in general, when it's already was going up with a strong trend, it's just a delaying action, and then it escapes off the top here. So I said, hey, Bitcoin did the thing, because before I was kind of guessing that it was going to come right, and it came almost got the timing right. Anyway, for it looked like it just wanted to break out, but no, comes back to test the support, because obviously, right, price never moves in a straight line. It's always up and down. It kind of oscillates around. So even if I drew this line perfectly correct, it's going to oscillate over it, under it, over it, under it, like that, 5 waves up. So anyway, that's just it. I just want to show you my tracker vision. And this will take price over 100,000 is right where this red line, I'm sorry, actually, just above that is where the 100,000 is. So this red line is at the very top of this resistance here. So yeah, I think this is going to take us up to, this chart has me going to 106,000, almost 107,000. Let's see if we can get that. All right, indices.
Yeah,
I think we're at 832
now. So yeah, I just want to touch on the indices real quick, simply because they're opening into all-time high territory again. So yesterday it didn't close into all-time highs, but the past couple of days have been continuous all-time highs. So it looks like there is a continuation, and if there is a continuation, it could even continue to the 2.72 way up here to the 700s for the SPY. So you heard it here first. It was a breakout. It was a back test. We watched this all hold levels during the tracker and Matt show, and we can see it just continuing higher. And with the QQQ, it's looking like the same thing. It's going to gap up into all-time high territory. So this could have continuation towards the 548. And IWM is still not all-time highs, but it really, really wants to. I think it's just buying enough time, maybe just consolidating at a higher level for a little bit until it's ready to break through. And then once it breaks through, I think things will continue much higher for IWM into the 270s and beyond.
Woohoo!
So there we go. Did you have coffee and Bailey's for breakfast, Striker? That's what Dan was saying to you just now.
Oh, that's funny. No, I missed that. Oh, you know, I had coffee and Bailey's the other night, but not for breakfast.
Too early.
All right, I want to answer Stoic Outdoors' question. Good morning, guys. Tracker, do you see a 4-hour bearish descending triangle forming on MicroStrategy, causing a deeper ABC correction? No, what I see, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. It was an ABC correction down to here, a larger degree. 1, 2. Now the wave starts way over here, and this is your larger degree wave 1. This is now wave 2, and since we got that wave bottom, it's just been a higher high and a higher low. So it is now working on B, where this will be wave 3 sub 1, wave 3 sub 2. This is actually all of wave 3 major. That's all of wave 4. So for MicroStrategy, I'm still looking for $750.53 is my next target above. And it looks like it might just want to go right. I do a little mini hyperbolic tool. It just wants to go right through that green. I should even actually just pull it like crack right there between the green and red clouds is at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. It's like right at the end of the week. An interesting close to the end of the week, maybe. If it closed at 409, is that above a resistance for you, Matt?
Well, no, I'm just watching the same thing you are. Your 4-hour conversion line that you have right there, it's continuously being support. So I'm just watching that. As long as it stays above that, I think it's fine. And what's that exact number for that? I think it's 377.
377.86.
Yeah. So as long as it stays above that,
close enough.
Yeah.
Yep. 87 or 76, Matt.
No, I have it on. I have the label on. It's 377.37 right. Exactly. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
as long as it stays above that, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Here, I'll do another request. SoFi. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's just going on. There's a horizontal katana thing. Looks like the conversion line and baseline were together here. Sideways for a little bit, and now yeah, SoFi looks great. It's just going on to my target. Up here, $19.17. I got, because it went 764, 50%. Oh, why wouldn't I say 150%? This might be bullish. I don't know. It's almost 76132. Man, this was tough, actually. Either it's going to go to a little higher to 17 to 13, and wants to come back to the 100% at 1347. That's a tough call. If it looks like it's going to go, why is this so far out? It's possible it could come back to 1347 before going on to the 2382, 764. I think I just got really excited that day. I said, let's bullish. I'm gonna temper my expectations because so far everything's been not saying, unless you're Palantir, that it exceeds every expectation I set up for it.
Yeah. Palantir is full bull. Everybody keeps taking profits on it, and it keeps going.
Absolutely. All right, so this is my SoFi. From where we are now, it could have topped at 1632 and might get a pullback to 13.7 for the 100% retrace, or 100% extension. And then from there, 2378 initial cycle. Then it consolidates an ABC down, and then all this becomes 1, 2, and it gets bigger and bigger. In fact, if I just go to this weekly chart, no, it doesn't show it on this one. Never mind. That's SoFi. SoFi looks pretty good from here. And you'll notice my $23.38 target wave 5 almost equates the 76.4% fib retracement going back to towards the all-time high.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put up my SoFi. So one thing I'm watching is this halfway fib between the 786 and the 618, the 702, 1606. It's basically right there pre-market, and it's kind of battling it the whole week so far. So I think got to watch that. If it starts to just get into trouble there, then I might need to go test lower levels. What was that retrace that was possible for you, Tracker?
At 1347.
Yeah. I could see it back down to the 13s as well. Maybe even my 618 to 13.
So it's just
around 1360s, 50s. So yeah, I could see that happen if this cannot close candles above, right? So this is something I got to watch for SoFi 1606. So I'm always cautious near resistance. It did close last week above it, so that's good. But I need to see follow through the following weeks. If you don't see that, then there's a possibility to go back down. So with that being said, I do see. Oh yeah, we haven't done Tesla, so let's jump in on Tesla.
Sure.
We gotta keep the fans happy. Day over day, this is what I'm noticing on Tesla. Day over day, it's actually holding the 786. It's never held 2 consecutive days in a row above it. See, last time right here in November 11th, it went above and then it collapsed. And then last time in November 22nd, it closed above the 786 and then collapsed. But now we got 2 consecutive days, possibly even 3, possibly the whole weekly candle close is going to close above it again. And if that happens, then that is really the definition of building a base on top of a very, very, very important fib level for continuation higher. So ignore the news out there always, guys. Pay attention to the charts. And this chart is looking like it's almost ready to go higher. So with that said, Tracker, what do you say about Tesla?
Indeed. Go ahead and pull me up here, and I'll show you what I showed fans last night, that the 8-hour Bollinger Bands for Tesla are getting squeezy, as Kat would say. Yeah, it looks like it just is ready to make a big move higher. With this triangle like this, with a flat top like that, it's all but a foregone conclusion that price will squeeze out of the top of this, the flat triangle here on top. So I'm just like the last 3 times, I'm simply looking for it to retest the all-time high. Might just slightly under, like it'll asymptotically approach the 414.50 high, but miss it the first time, not be able to get it, and then we might get a little bit of support testing. It probably will just build a base under it and then push out. The other alternative is it's simply just candle over it, and it goes on, it runs for a while, then comes back to touch back for support. But one of those 2 things is what I'm looking for. I think it's very likely we'll see. I think it's going to be resistance $412.03 before, or at least by December 30th at the end of the year. Yeah. So after that, it's either if it whiffs and misses, some support base building under it, and then the God candle, or we could just get the God candle right away. In which case, I think it's going to run straight for brown line goes to $710 could be the, like, if it acts as an ABC correction up to a price it's never been there before, but it's pre-programmed, as Matt would say.
It all is. I see Mitso Bass is asking, what's the status of your microphone? But it's not his microphone, it's the connection.
It's the connection. I'm staying with a friend, and my friend has a router that is like 14 years old, so it's kind of out of date. He's got a new router on the way. It might also be that he's got I don't know. He's got another. We'll figure it out. It's gonna not be fixed today, I'm afraid.
I see a couple of crypto requests here, so I'm gonna just jump on that really quickly, and gonna start with my 4-hour XRP. So people are worried about it. Is it going to go lower? But I think this 4-hour chart here, when I just zoom in, kind of tells you the story. So it broke a level here, back tested a level, went to the next level on the 4-hour chart, back tested the level again. And now it's just kind of like the bottom arc was a support. Now it's a little bit of a resistance. So it's just cooling off. Right. And no matter what, even if it does something like this, goes back to the 230s, then goes up to the 280s and does this, it would just like tear people's hearts out because it's so make them so emotional. But all it's doing will be trading in a range until it's really ready to go higher. So XRP is beautiful. I don't know why people like to short it. But yeah, if you want to short, try short-term shorts, that's fine. But I know a lot of people on X are like sub 2, sub 150, or they're just calling out crazy numbers. And I just don't see that. So yeah, you can make money on both ways, just scalping in and out. That's fine. But the trend is still, my friend, and I think it's going to break this 280 level, 282 to be exact. And once that 282 is broken, flip to support, then it's all-time highs. So I think it's just waiting game, guys. Let it cool off. It had an explosive move. Super, super bullish. And I see an IOTA here.
No need to
one real quick.
I'll just say, wait, no need to switch chart. I just wanted to say that XRP did come right up to that resistance level I was talking about, the 76 point at $2.64. It blew, but then got back under it, and now it's oscillating right around it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really bullish, and it is hovering around the 4-hour conversion line. It looks like on your screen too. So.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's just it's building. That's it. It did the back. This is a double bottom right here. And oh wait, we what you look at the weekly Bollinger Bands, and on the logarithmic scale, and it's this. As long as the lower Bollinger Band is way down here and it's not curling up, this thing is still expanding. It's got plenty of room to expand higher and higher.
Yeah.
So
the expansion.
Don't worry about XRP. It is okay, Matt. Go ahead with your other thing.
Yeah. So IOTA, I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. I don't have any other GAN for it, but what I do have is something that is breaking into higher highs, right? Something that was a previous high here at 42 cents. It's actually going higher. So this is really kind of reversing a negative downtrend finally, right? So as long as this continues to hold this 40-cent zone, it can back test it if it wants, and it is on top of the cloud. So I think, yeah, it can go up to the previous or the next resistance zone up here, maybe the 75, 70, or the 80s. And that would be the next target. But this chart is finally looking more bullish now that it is making a higher high. So that is great for market structure and great for a possible continuation. But it might need to backtest some levels first before it continues higher.
Very cool.
Oh, I see your DXYZs on that list too. Oh wait, there's a Gala first. There's another crypto first before I go over there. So Gala, okay. Gala is breaking above the cloud. That's the only thing you need to know. And now the goal is to hold that cloud as support. So that's 0.049, and just flip it to a support. Maybe it needs a back test, maybe not. But then the next target would be the previous candles up here, which would be around 0.8, maybe 0.81, 0.82, that zone. So it looks like it can get more bullish, but it has to hold the top of the cloud first in order to get there. So with that said, now you can do your DXYZZZ or
well, actually I'll do DXY in just a second. I wanted to get Lomi here. I wanted to ask us to touch on SoFi. SoFi is still running. Here it is in log scale again, and you can see the way down this Bollinger Band isn't curling up. SoFi's got plenty of expansion room to go. This is actually, I think, did I draw this or I think this is Matt's drawing actually. Anyway, SoFi is just going to keep going. Yeah. Don't you worry about SoFi. Where did my site go to? Oh yeah, my SoFi goes all the way to $23.78. It's it reached the 1630. My TA wants it to back test to 1340, which which is this line right there. I don't know. It may not. It might just keep going. But if it does, 1347 will be support, and then 23.7.
Well, we already talked about SoFi.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we just discussed this, and I showed my chart too. Yeah. So, but yeah, DXYZ.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
In and out for me as well. DXYZ on my 8-hour chart is just working on it's still working on this wave 3 sub 1. So $56.65 is my next target. From where we are right now, that's another 30% higher, with a test back to support of 3.2% at $41.62. Then it goes on to the 1382, then back test the 100% fib extension at 65.93, and finishes out at my 2382 up here at $120.28. And as you know, they're greatly accelerating the pace of launches with SpaceX. DXYZ offers significant exposure to SpaceX. That is why it is so bullish. This and not for you, not necessarily in the audience, but I was like, I need to buy support right now. The next target for me is $41.71, which is a move that is 81% higher than it is now. And I've got Rocket Lab topping out at $60. Again, as soon as 2 weeks. It's kind of crazy how fast this thing's going up. Kind of like a rocket. Matt?
Oh yeah. What
Back to
is
you.
next here?
I could do. Well, we could look at
asking what's going on with EOS.
Sure. EOS. I've got an EOS chart. My EOS chart, basically, it did end up finishing out in 5 impulsive waves with an ABC retrace. And so now all this is wave 1, all this is wave 2, and we're now in a larger degree wave 3. And it's just working on its first wave up, this first subwave. So my next target is $4.39, which is 47% higher than we are now, with a back test to $3.23, on up to $6.28, back to $5.11, and on to this thing is in the way, $9.33. So feel free to take this screenshot right here, and all the prices are on the right here. So 933 is at the 2382 is where this thing's going right here.
Okay. Yeah, I think EOS looks better and better.
That's my EOS.
For me, as long as EOS stays above like 280 or something, I think it's gonna go higher. So that's my view on EOS. And
here's the MCDX Plus showing a 70% buy-in on the last 8-hour candle.
Nice. All right, and yeah, I'll do some other requests here. Riot, I see. And when I have Riot on my chart here, it's battling my blue level of my GAN, which is a previous resistance, and it's trying to flip it to support. So that's the goal for the weekly close, just close above like the 1225. But it's just perfectly breaking out and back testing the bottom of the cloud over and over and over again, even the baseline a couple of times down here. So this is really a bullish formation for an inevitable return higher. So I do like it. I actually like almost all the miners right now because they're similar. They're all breaking out. They're all back testing levels for many weeks, like a month straight. So it's just the beginning of probably the next leg higher sooner than later. So Riot looks good. Current level is down to 1170s or a little bit lower. This looks good. And,
can I do ACHR?
Yeah, go ahead.
Archer Aviation. So this thing came out of nowhere. Somebody asked me about it like a week ago, and I looked at the chart and it's like, oh wow. and I did my math on it and put it in my spreadsheet. It immediately shot to like number one. It was crazy. This thing could go to $16 almost in 7 days. Actually, from where it is right now, yeah, 7 days, 45. No, actually, we're here now. So it's less than that time has traveled. So in 6 days, this thing could reach $15.94. Yeah, it's in the fifth wave melt up net right now. So it's in the fourth wave. The wave 2 was long enough. This wave 4 should be finishing up pretty soon. And that's what I got, basically, to $15.94 next, which is a 131% move from here, which is why it's so high on my spreadsheet. It's percent gain over time, so the higher goes up on my ranking. And once it gets on with that, this will become the wave 1. This will become the wave 2. And so here's your minor wave 1, 2, all of 3. The next cycle takes it to 2661. But we're not there yet. I do this first. There's Archer Aviation. I'm going to go for it.
I have a request for another crypto, the XYO, that I'm going to do for Coinbase. So here we go. XYO, this is from one of my Patreon subscribers. So just going to do that one first. And this is getting rejected by the 786 up here. So this is something that we just got to pay attention to. And that's your resistance, 4 cents. So it is coming back down. But I think the goal really is for me, let me just zoom into this number here, the 618. Hold that 618 right there, the 0.02283 at a minimum. Then this can eventually go higher. But best case scenario, I think, would be the 786. But at least staying above this angle here and my arc, just kind of like building a base on top, then to go higher. So that would be right around 0.026. So for XYO, that does, in fact, look like the target. So just ignore all this rejection up here. As long as it tries to close above the arc and the angle, I think it could be good. But if not, then maybe the 618 at 022. So it is very bullish, but it just went really too far, too fast. It's already even with this wick, it's still a 200% weekly candle. So you can't really complain about that. This is something that might not break the 786 just yet, but just give it time, and I think it can. So
let's see. I can handle him next. Oh, good.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, what you got? Oh,
I was going to do Nvidia, but you can
go ahead and do Nvidia.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll do it.
I saw a couple of requests for Nvidia, so I'm just going to do that up. And there's no change, guys. It's been holding the weekly conversion line like a champ, like a boss. And yeah, I think it kind of wants to gravitate to the 152 again. So it's just stuck in a range between the 130s and the 150s. And this is the target to get above the 152.38. And once it's above there, it can go much higher. But until then, it could just be stuck in a range. All right, Tracker, on to you next.
All right, for hims and her health, we're in the heart of the wave 3 now. So it's going to 45.28 next for sure. It's possible that because it did a 6 at the bottom here instead of holding the 382, it's possible it only reaches 41.92, but more likely it will hit for 45.28 next for the wave 3. The wave 2 is very sharp. Wave 4 is very long. So if it really comes up this fast, you could sell a good part of your position if you're trading it around $42 to $45, and then just give it some time. It's going to take a while for it to come back down to 36.49 is the 100% support before it goes on to $68.38 for the 238.2% fib extension. So here, I'll just make it like that. And you can, these numbers, that's support, and there's where the wave 5 finishes out. I'm not going to move that tool to get it out of the way. That's my HIMS chart, and you can see it's quite strong, 87%.
Yeah, Hams is bullish. I think it's eventually going to the 40s, maybe higher. I like it.
Yeah.
What else we got here in the chat, Tracker? Got some more crypto. Oh, we got APP, some Applovin.
Oh yeah.
I love that name. Not Apple.
I know, me too. So this is a great example of a company that just took AI and used it to get apps in front of the right users, just like the way the Trade Desk does it. Their commercials in front of the right eyeballs, apps into the hands of the users that most want it. And why chart for this? It looks like I accidentally deleted my lines, but basically it looks. You know what? You better do your app. Do you have an Applovin chart?
Yeah, I do have an Applovin chart, I think.
Yours, because mine needs a little TLC.
So here's my Applovin, and I had an arrow there the whole time, and that was something that I was thinking it was going to flip to a support, and it looks like it has, right? The 332.50. It was trying to break it back in mid-November, and it did end up breaking it, and it even confirmed the angle again right here. So that is now your support, right? The 332.50, and this is looking like it has potential to continue to the next level now in the 530s, and as long as this angle holds as support, then I think it will get there. So bullish.
Yeah. Applovin is like, it's expanding like an IPO. It's just everyone can't get enough of it. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Should we do snow?
I see. Why is?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we can do that. No, go ahead.
I see Snowflake as being an ABC retrace. It just wants to. It's working on getting back to retesting back. Its all-time high was up here at $429. So 61.8% retrace. So that will be $306. And of course, we're down here. So you're going to want to take some profit into $183.09. And then it's going to test back to probably fill some of this gap a little bit, maybe before it goes on to get to the 382. The overall pattern is 230.08, then 183.09. I'm looking at these numbers over here. Let me just move these right for you, so you can take a look at that. Right, so it's got to go these big black. Let me just get rid of this for a second. This is what you want to pay attention to. It's going to $230 next, then a back test to 183.09. You can see it's kind of building that. It's foreshadowing that support later. And the 61.8 retrace, $306.05, kind of lines up with all of this back here. So that's my TA for Snowflake right now. On the way to the A to 230.08, it might look something like this, where it kind of touches the 23.6, has to maybe close some of this gap, $230. But very strong institutional buying. You can see right here, 83% bankers in Wales on the MCDX Plus.
Yeah, and it's getting more and more bullish. More and more bullish. I see a few more crypto requests. I'm going to go take those real quick. Starting with Jasmy. Jasmy is approaching my orange level of my GAN, which is around 0.0436. That is almost there, right? So this is something you got to be cautious, but if it can flip it to a support, then this goes much higher into the 6, the 8, maybe even the next level way up here, possibly in the 70-cent zone, right? So don't want to get people too excited, but it is at resistance now, but it does have a lot of potential if that 4.5-cent zone can break as resistance and flip to support. And I do see another one with Flare, FLR, and I think that chart is looking better and better too. And we can see that it's getting above the Ichimoku cloud right now, the weekly cloud, which is really good. And just maintain that, right? 0.032, just stay above it. Then I think it can break through this big resistance zone ahead. So the 786 is going to be the ultimate target to close weekly candles above the 4 cents. Once it's above that, then yeah, it's going to go to the all-time highs. So this is looking good for flare, but it just really has to maintain the top of the cloud, 0.032. And I think, yeah, people are talking about Bitfarms and CLSK. So I'll do some Bitfarms real quick, maybe BITF.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, Bitfarms, it just keeps on retesting the 50% level, the 194. So is it trash? I don't think so. I think it's just breaking out, and it's getting rejected by it got rejected by the baseline up here and went back down to test the 50%. So it is on the top side of it. It is building a base on top of it. So it's just not as bullish as some of the other ones, but it has potential to hold. And because of that potential, it has a chance to get back towards the cloud in the 240s and so on. But it can't get more bullish until it gets to the top of the cloud. So that's going to be the ultimate goal for Bitfarms. But with that being said, it's still just building a base on the 50% fib.
Yep. I want to just acknowledge Golden Parachute says, Matt's charts with the arches, they really play out. They really do. Like, I've been doing Elliott wave theory for like 5-6 years now, and I like, I have a pretty good success with them. But Matt's charts are just like magical. I can't.
Well, all you guys ever needed was.
I can't stress enough how good these can arc.
Yeah. All we needed for XRP was that arc. How long have I been saying about once it breaks this arc, it's gonna fly? I have said that literally probably since it was maybe over here. I don't even know, for a long time. And yeah, once it broke the arc, it flew, right? So this is proof in the pudding that it works like a charm. So anyways, CLSK, do you have a chart for that, or?
I do have a chart.
I think this might be the last one too, guys, because running out of time.
Oh no, I have to do one more after this one.
Okay,
I could skip 22 cents is my target for that. So somebody said, please GST, it's ripping warning. Let's take a quick look at that. Off this weekly chart. Oh, I can just do this real quick. So off this low to this crazy.
Well, I'll do CLSK while you work on that real quick. Okay.
Go right ahead.
Because I want to show people that they need to ignore the FUD. So check out my CLSK, guys. Look at what's happening. Do you see this line here?
Please go right ahead.
Do you see this line here, guys? 1367, 1370. Do you see this was a previous resistance? Do you see it was a previous resistance? Do you see what's happening right now for the past 4 weeks in a row? It's been closing weekly candles above that blue level, even though it's been like testing people's patience, going below it all the time. But this is it, guys. It's building a base finally once again on top of the blue level, and that means it has potential to go to the 20s and beyond. So ignore the noise out there, ignore the earnings, ignore everything, because it doesn't matter. This chart looks fine. It looks like it eventually wants to continue higher. So just relax. This chart is fine. It's not broken. It's actually, it looks better than some. So there it is. Back to you, Tracker.
All right. I've just finished this chart for GST. Basically, just take a screenshot of this right here. I'm just going to start here for the wave start, wave 1, wave 2. Now it's wave 3.
That's not the right GST. That's the LSE.
Oh, crap.
That's the London Stock Exchange. So they're talking about a Satoshi token. It's a crypto.
What is GST?
It's a crypto.
Sorry. That's why I didn't recognize it. The London Stock Exchange.
Yeah. GST. I'll do that one last, and then I got to go. But
okay.
Essentially, when I look at GST, all it's doing is breaking above the conversion line baseline, and now it's heading up towards the bottom of the cloud. So it has more room to go, maybe to the 0.057, right? maybe the top of the cloud, the 0.079. So is it bullish? No. I mean, it's getting more bullish, but it needs to get to the top of the cloud really to get more bullish. So you're going to see this, a lot of underperforming tokens. They're shooting up massively, but it's just because they're way behind. It's not like they're super bullish or anything. They're just catching up. So this, to me, looks like it has possibility to continue higher, but I don't really like it until it can flip that cloud to support. So that's my view on Satoshi token. So there we go.
Nicholas wants to know where he can learn my waves. Come over to my my X profile this morning for your links and stuff for you. All right, Matt, take us on out.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Maybe not tracker, but I'll keep you guys posted. So, with that said, have a good rest of your Wednesday, and just again, as always, ignore the FUD and the news out there. The charts always tell the true story.
Indeed. Thanks.